So Senator Ted Cruz, he's had kind of enough of the leftist BS. So Stacey Abrams, fake governor of Georgia, is testifying right there in the hearing yesterday. And she keeps claiming that this Georgia law, which basically asks for voter ID and makes it easier to vote, just very hard to cheat, voter ID, which is pretty standard, right? Produce an ID. You got to produce an ID to buy allergy medication at a pharmacy. You should probably have to produce ID to vote. Pretty fair, right? But Stacey Abrams thinks this is racist. They think it's Jim Crow. So here's first Ted Cruz pinning Stacey Abrams down on if she thinks her election in Georgia when she lost was stolen. Check this out.
Ms. Abrams, it's been over 2 years, and you still refuse to concede that you lost the race for governor in Georgia in 2018. You have said that, quote, you do not concede that the process was proper, and that, quote, they stole it from the voters of Georgia. Yes or no, today, do you still maintain that the 2018 Georgia election was stolen?
As I've always said, I acknowledged at the very beginning that Brian Kemp won under the rules that were in place. What I object to are rules that permitted thousands of Georgia voters to be denied their participation in this election or to have their votes cast out. And so I will continue to disagree with the system until it is fixed. We have seen marked progress made, and unfortunately, it was undone in SB 202. But I will continue to advocate for a system that permits every eligible Georgian to cast their ballots.
I thought we weren't allowed because the media likes to tell us what we're allowed and not allowed to do. I just give the media the double-barreled finger and talk about what I want because I'm an actual constitutionalist who actually believes in free speech, unlike our new Pravda-like totalitarian media. But I was told by them that we were not allowed to talk about stolen elections. Yet Stacey Abrams is still insisting that somehow she's the governor of Georgia and the election was stolen. So nice job with Ted Cruz, who I see what he did there. He's obviously much smarter than Stacey Abrams, who I don't know if she doesn't realize she's being set up here, but she was. She didn't see it coming because Stacey Abrams like, oh, President Trump lost. Don't you dare say it's a stolen election. Stacey, was your election stolen? My election was stolen. Missed the kind of a disconnect there. Here's part two of this. So Ted Cruz, who outsmarts her, asked Stacey Abrams about, you think this new Georgia voter ID law, you think it's racist? Is there a turnout problem in Georgia amongst black voters? Because if there is, I haven't heard about it. And listen to Stacey Abrams totally faceplant when she has to produce facts indicating that Georgia's got some pattern of racism in stopping blacks from voting. Check this out.
So you also told the New York Times that your loss, quote, was fully attributable to voter suppression. Ms. Abrams, do you know in Georgia whether the percentage of African-American Georgians who are registered to vote and who turned out to vote, is it higher or lower than the national average?
It is higher than the national average because Georgia is one of the largest states with an African-American population.
But that's not tied to the size of the population. The percentage of black Georgians who are registered to vote in 2018 is 64.7%. That compares to 60.2% as the national average. The percentage of Georgians who voted in 2018, the election you claim was stolen from you, was 56.3%. That's higher than the national average of 48%. Let me ask you this, Ms. Abrams. In 2018, do you know which demographic group in Georgia had the highest registration percentage and the highest turnout percentage?
I have a guess, but I will defer to you for the answer.
The answer is African Americans had the highest registration and the highest turnout, despite your claiming that the election was stolen and there was somehow voter suppression.
You ever get the feeling you're getting played if you're a liberal? You ever get that feeling? The Chauvin trial and the death of George Floyd was endlessly discussed in liberal circles in terms of racism. Yet racism never comes up at the trial when there are actual facts and criminal penalties on the line for misstating facts. Weird, right? And yet, when you're under oath in some proceeding in the Senate as well, and you're asked to back up your case that Georgia's a racist state where blacks are being prevented from voting, and Ted Cruz shows that black turnout in Georgia is actually higher. By the way, Stacey Abrams doesn't understand somehow the difference between percentages and raw numbers. Very strange. She can't back that up. Do you ever get the feeling when you're a liberal, when you wake up, that your whole life is a lie? Because it is. You just don't know anything. Or you do know, and you do know a lot about a lot of things, and you're a liar. There's no option 3 or C. Option A, you're a moron. Option B, you're not a moron, but you're a liar. Option C, I'm just kidding, doesn't exist. Moron, liar. Some people have emailed me and said, no, Dan, there is an option C. Both. Maybe a moronic liar. Stacey Abrams has nothing. She has nothing there.